Okay, we are so excited. Thanks to Michael and his wonderful contact and friend. Abby Lee Miller is with us today. And yay, I know. What a real treat. Miss Abby, the Miss Abby with us.
Well, I'm so excited to be, on Long Island right now. It's like I'm there.
I know. Well, you're going to be here on August 26th and 27th. And this is the first time coming back in about 6 years. In fact, when you actually met Michael here on Long Island the last time you were here, changed his life.
Well, I don't know about changing his life, but I certainly made him a little more busy. Yes.
Absolutely.
So busier. So
well, you probably change a lot of people's lives with every visit that you do, right?
Yeah. And I think that a few little girls' lives I changed immensely. Yes.
Yeah.
You probably changed more lives than you actually even realize. But so you're coming here, right? So first of all, who is Abby Lee Miller? In case you don't know, Miss Abby is from the very popular series. It's about a decade old, a decade ago?
11 years this year.
Dance Moms. That was popular in its own right, but like you just said, stemmed careers for some of the biggest dance names in the industry that we all know today. So if you watch Dancing with the Stars or you heard of JoJo, I mean, she was just a little tiny girl when you met her.
And she actually started on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, which was a spinoff from Dance Moms. And she started on that. And then after some time when it was over, they brought her over to join Dance Moms. Yes.
I think Dance Moms, it was so popular and people love to watch it because it's like so real. And I have to believe on Long Island that I've met a couple of Dance Moms and they are intense and it's real, right? The intensity of
it is real. It's, I had a lot of nice, kind, polite women in my studio, moms who paid their bills on time and they were wonderful, but they just didn't make great TV. So it's the tragic, slightly, off balance, slightly desperate women that make much better television, myself included. And, but as far as touching lives, I do these events, master classes or guest classes all over the world. And I always ask how many kids here started dancing because of Dance Moms. And I see those hands shoot up. And then I know that I'm doing something good, that I did something great. So many more children around the world dance because of that show. And now, due to the pandemic and the quarantine, we have a whole new audience. So 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, that's pretty much the demographic now. All these little kids watch the show. They watch it on different streaming channels. They watch it on YouTube. They watch my own YouTube channel, Abby Lee Miller. And it's just like, crazy.
Oh,
crazy.
You're so right.
They weren't even born when the show started.
Yeah, I can testify to that because I have 5 teenagers in my house and the shows that they're rewatching are like crazy. I mean, all of these series and they're getting into all of these things. I'm like, you're just now watching, 90210 or whatever, or, and Dance Moms and they love it. And it's great. I mean, that's one of the silver linings that people are kind of exploring new content.
And I was just 11 years old when I started watching from season 1, and then, just was a loyal fan the whole throughout, as you know. And then I see that Abby Lee is coming to Long Island. It's 2016. I had just graduated, and then we met and kind of just went from there. And you kept me busy, as you said, right?
Yes, very, very busy, seeing the world, going to London and going here and going there. But the demographic, like the kids, it's a whole new audience. And I just hope that they take away from it the dancing and the good parts. It seems like the kids are in tune to that. The kids always got that I wanted the kids to be better. That was the whole goal, was to let these kids, blossom and also to push them to be the best that they could really be.
Yeah. And so you're coming to Long Island on the 26th and 27th. And I want to make sure people know what you're going to be doing here. You're going to be talking at a couple of different dance studios, New Image. Do you want to tell?
New Image Gymnastics. I'm going to be at New Image Gymnastics. I'm teaching an acrobatic class there. I do my warm up, my legs and feet, that whole curriculum that I created. And then we're going to do an acrobatic class. And then later, which would be, the acrobatic class is open to everybody. Any kids can come and sign up for that. Then we also have a Q&A. So it's Ask Abby Q&A, and that's for people that don't dance, or maybe former dancers, or moms and grandmas, or, whoever watched the show. And they can come in. I tell them how the show started and what's happening now, and they can ask all the questions. Nothing's off limits. And they can get the real tea is good.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. And then also the other one is Sarah Jean Dance Academy.
Yes. Sarah Jean Dance, is it Company? Academy?
I think it's Academy.
It's Academy. And
Sarah Jean.
Our videographer, Chris, his daughter goes to that studio. So ironic enough that
her name's Skylar.
Yeah, Skylar is going to be.
Shout out to Sky when you see her.
Shout out to Skylar. Yes. So
she'll be there.
Sarah Jean Dance Academy. I will be there. And there I'm just teaching the dance class, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just a dance class. Yes. So I didn't have time for too much more. I need to get back into the city, but I'm excited. I haven't been there in so many years. And you guys, I mean, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, the dense population of children and dancers is crazy. Just crazy to me.
Yeah. And the parental
events. Yeah. And 10 different events, and they'd all be filled. So I think with space left, because the new Image Gymnastics is such a big venue that we still have tickets on sale. It's available. You're welcome to come. But as far as the other event, it's
sold out already. I know. So by the time people will hear this, like, if you just don't delay, get your tickets right now and get on there and sign up, because I'm sure it will sell out too at the gym.
Aren't we going to have a contest? Aren't we going to give away tickets?
We're going to give away. We will have for sure two of our lucky. Is it two of our
two winners?
Is for sure going to go of our
just
listeners.
To make sure that all of you are aware, you have to follow us on social. And stay tuned, because the day that we post this interview is the day that you can start to enter, and you might have a chance to meet Abby Lee.
So thank you, Abby Lee, for doing that, by the way, for our listeners. The one that our videographer Chris's daughter Sky goes to, they just recently had a real tragedy, that one of the girls who was going to be a senior in their dance academy died in a car crash right outside the high school. And so, I think that you are an inspiration to so many people, because you have been through so much tragedy in your life, and you can probably really talk to these girls and tell them that there's nothing that they can't do or overcome. And do you do that a lot? Do you share your story? And
yes, I share my story all the time, but mainly for women, moms, they take care of their husbands, they take care of their children, they take care of their own parents that might be elderly. They never take care of themselves first. And you really have to know your own body. I knew that something was wrong. Instantly, I knew something was very, very wrong, very wrong. And I went to 6 doctors within 10 days, begging for help, for treatment, for an answer, for a solution. And I got a little pat on the shoulder, go home and take it easy, you'll be fine. It ended up being a very rare form of lymphoma, cancer choking my spinal cord. And you don't go home and take it easy after that. So when you walk into a hospital and you wheel out, that's not good.
And people may not know that you've been through that you were diagnosed with that cancer, and you're now in a wheelchair, and how that must be just so life-changing for you.
It is. And as far as ADA compliant people with disabilities, you have no idea until you're in a chair. No idea. And I'll visit people, or I'm going to their home. Oh no, we don't have steps. No, it's flat. No steps, no steps. You get there and there's like a big step right up to their front, to the door. And they're like, they didn't even think about that.
Right. There's situations where, like I've seen with you, where they say that they're ADA compliant, and then suddenly it's like, oh, well, yeah, we are, but you have to be able to stand and move into a chair, and then they don't have the specifics. And then, obviously traveling is a whole big crazy thing that just everything has.
Paraplegic. It's very difficult. If I was not in this chair at this point right now in my life, if I had time off to travel, I wouldn't even need a home. I would just go from city to city to city. I could be in Europe for 3 months. I could be here in Florida for a couple of months. I could be in New York City living. That'd be a dream for a couple of months, So, it's hard. It's very difficult. No one understands.
And what does it mean to you that now you are such a huge figure for these people who I feel like now, because of you in a way, are being represented and heard a little bit more, because you're actually publicly saying these things that should have already been in place, with making sure that places just list things correctly at the very least, So, I mean, what does that mean to you that now, although it was such a horrible thing that happened, now you actually can speak for a huge community of people?
Well, I'm always the mouth, I say what's on my mind and I don't mince words, and I'm going to tell you like it is. So I just think that because I was on a television show and because I was a personality and popular, that now I can use my voice for the good to help others. And, a lot of times stores, I was just in a department store, people put hangers, they fall off the rack, they're on the floor, they get caught in your chair. Like, it's just a nightmare. And until you are in a chair, you don't understand it. I just wish that in the United States of America, when people go to inspect, the building inspectors, and they go for the ADA and to check it out, the doors, the doorways, the thresholds, that they were in a chair. They need to be in a chair when they go around and inspect a building to be ADA compliant. If they're not in a chair and they're just walking, well, of course you're going to pass.
Yeah. And
there's times you can never know until you're in it. And you're so right. And that's why I think what Michael's saying is to have somebody that's in the situation and a spokesperson. I mean, just like right before we went on, you were like, you guys, tell me about Long Island. What are you doing? And we were talking about it. I'm like, absolutely. We've got a lot. I think every destination, has a lot of work to do, but it's definitely a focus.
While we're on Long Island, where should I go? What shouldn't I miss? Is there a restaurant that I have to visit? Is there a certain type of pizza? Is there,
there's so many options.
I know.
As far as restaurants, do you want on the water? Do you want something, there's just so many different.
You've got to, well, we've got to have a Long Island bagel first of all, because you've had bagels they're never, not even New York City bagels. There's
really?
Something, we always say there's something about the water.
Yeah, the water. The water.
Yes. Exactly.
Bagels in the water. I know that. So I will have a bagel.
We're going to take good care of you. A lobster roll, rosé is the official drink of the Hamptons. So obviously we have rosé.
Rosé. That frozen rosé. Same frosé.
Rosé. You can say frosé or sparkling rosé. We're going to take great care of you while you're here, and then we'll post all about it and let people know what you liked and what you didn't like. You'll be like, don't do that.
And you're going to definitely have my favorite pizza, so I'll make sure that you get that. I do want to quickly talk about, just you being such a big public figure, for so many years. What advice could you give to people maybe who are younger who deal with haters? Because you and I know that there are a lot of haters that try to bring you down, and you are just so strong and always stand.
There are, and it's very difficult to sit there and look at your phone or look at your computer and see the ugly, hurtful comments and not react quickly. You want to delete them, but then you also want to, slap back at the haters. So sometimes I do. I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't respond. I should let it go in one ear and out the. I should let it go in one ear and out the other, but I don't. I respond. And then sometimes when you respond and you give that person the clap back, then other people see it. I think that's the biggest thing with haters, Michael, is that one child or whoever it is, somebody posing as a child, says something derogatory and hateful, then everybody else jumps on the bandwagon. That's what it is. So if you can nip that comment quickly and either delete it, get it out of there, or address it, then everybody else jumps on your bandwagon.
Yes.
They jump on your bandwagon and they side with you. If you let it go and you're not happen to be, you don't happen to be on your phone immediately right then and there when the comment comes, then it's just hate. But as far as dealing emotionally with it, let it roll right off your shoulders. I always say, if somebody says something personally to me, to my face, I'm always like, hey, I've been talked about by much better people than you.
Yeah.
That's a good message, Abby. And I'm glad Michael asked that question, because I think these days the kids are growing up on social media. It is so intense in their face. And I was listening to Mayor Eric Adams from New York City the other day. He was doing a commencement and he said the best response to the haters is to be successful. And he said, let the haters be your waiters at the table of life, at the table of success. And I was like, right? I know. Yeah. I loved it too.
Great. That's great. Although today I had a wonderful waitress who gave me her own hotspot to get on the computer. So,
she was great. Our service industry workers are the best. They're the best.
Kindness speaks the loudest. And yes. I do want to also quickly get into how now you're going to be obviously on Long Island teaching. When you were on the show, you only had like 2 hours to work with these kids because of labor laws and everything like that. And then because of COVID and, being home all the time, you are able to now reach kids in all over the world. In Long Island or on Long Island and literally overseas. So how does it feel to be really teaching again and doing something that you have always just been so good at?
Well, when I teach, I kind of go into a zone and I'm in that zone and craziness could be going on around me and I like block it out completely. So I teach on Zoom and we have kids from Bulgaria, Mongolia, Ireland, Scotland, England, Mexico, Brazil, all at the same time. And a lot of the kids don't even speak English. And I just say, plie. And it's like, boom, the whole screen goes down to plie.
Cool.
So I teach 100 kids. I have 25 kids on a page. And it's really like each child is getting private lesson with me. It's insane. And I've had kids that are nice dancers, but they have zero acrobatic training to doing all these tricks, knowing the terminology, understanding the concept of the trick. I even have sometimes a mom come out and teach them how to spot the child on a certain trick. And it's crazy. And that's another thing I like about teaching on Zoom is no moms. They're not even in, sometimes they'll like run by in sweatpants with their hair in a bun and they'll like run by, or they'll have their nightgown on and they'll run by. Cause sometimes I'm teaching at 1 a.m. and for kids in another country where it's noon the next day, or sometimes I'm teaching at noon and it's midnight for them and they're still up taking class. So it's crazy. And I've had kids that take in different countries or cities and they fly to assist me somewhere. And nobody can believe that these children did not grow up together, train together with me for years. All they did was take on Zoom.
Well, that's amazing. And your teaching goes so deep. You've taught over 500 routines that have aired on television, right? What a wonderful opportunity to have somebody that, how did you know that teaching was your calling?
Oh, wow. Originally, I wanted to be a choreographer. That's a very long story. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out that you can check it out. But I did everything. It was a well-rounded child and I did every activity. And then when I was 13 or so, I entered a dance competition. I had 3 girls and I choreographed a trio and I put them in the competition and they won. And then I realized in order to get these children to do what I envision, what I create, I have to make better dancers. And that's when I really started to hone my teaching skills.
Because you want to be the best. Yeah. You wanted to create the best dancers. I love that.
Working and dancers. There's a lot of best dancers out there. There's a lot of competition winners that can't get a job. So getting a job, keeping the job, going to the next job, the next job, the next job, that's a working, successful dancer. Yes. Being employable and being good or great or wonderful or winner, 2 different things.
And, I always tell our employees or our team members or even my own children, so much of it is attitude too, having the right work ethic. We always say in the tourism industry, if you have a positive attitude and the right work ethic, there's nothing you can't accomplish. We can kind of train you to do everything else, right? Yeah. So how do you feel? Is that equal? Is it?
Well, you can be positive and you can have a great work ethic, but if you don't have, the right legs,
if you don't have the talent,
then it's rough. It's rough. But being in the right place, being there at the right time, having connections, learning. I think in today's society, learning to pick up quickly, to have the ability to comprehend movement quickly is key for any dancer. You go to an audition, you learn the combo, you have to do it. They hire you, you do the gig the next day, and that's it. Especially in Los Angeles, it happens very fast because everyone's on the clock.
Oh,
course. And just quickly before we go, we have, obviously since we're Long Island Tea, we have a celebrity section. So obviously you are our celebrity for that. But I wanted to maybe try to tease some things. A lot of people always ask, when are you going to be back on TV? When are you going to be on streaming services? So there's been some rumors of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You just recently put them on the pyramid. So
I heard that.
Yeah.
My daughters told me that. They're like, did you see what she did for the Housewives? Yeah.
So
And there's also a celebrity Dance Moms
Ooh.
coming out. You'll see a little tease about that. And I'm working on a documentary. It should be out very soon. And it just kind of takes you through the story of what happened with the whole court and the, government and all that. It takes you through that. It takes you through my staycation and then out, and then the cancer diagnosis, and then where we are now. And it's a whole documentary. It's in my words. I felt it was something that I needed to do. It was a cathartic experience for me to just kind of cleanse my soul of all the wrongdoings and all the lackadaisical doctors that I came in contact with and people, and just kind of get it out there, set the record straight, tell what really happened to me personally. And we did that, and it's all been recorded. It's being edited now, and watch for that.
Is that going to be on your YouTube, Abby?
I can tell you how Lifetime ruined my life, but that's not the title. That's not the title. That's just a working joke among us. But that's coming out. And then, let's just say I have some footage of season 9.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
Abby, this has been, I think, enlightening for me. I mean, a lot of the fans that watch the show, know you, they know your talent and the talent that you have developed. And I think it's such an incredible opportunity that these kids get to come and learn from you and see you and hear you. But what is your one takeaway? I mean, you have been, again, which I can't wait to watch your documentary. It's going to be, I think it sounds so incredible. You've been through so much. What drives you?
I have a lot of footage of me in the hospital, and I have a lot of footage of when I was going into the emergency room that I was taking myself, or my friend that was with me was videotaping. So there's a lot of enlightening kind of, whoa, like people aren't going to believe, like, wow, that's nuts. When you go in and you're sweating profusely and your eyeballs are back in your head and you're talking gibberish, telling someone there's something wrong with you. It's in your back, it's in your spine, your neck. And they say, nope, nothing's wrong. Go home. Take it easy.
It's so crazy. And I think a lot of people have, because of the pandemic, are not taking care of themselves the way that they should. They're not advocating for themselves. And so I think, again, you're going to be a great spokesperson for being your own advocate and not giving up. But speaking of not giving up, like what drives you to keep going? Again, so many people have been through so much trauma and tragedy over the last few years alone, obviously, but I mean, what you've been through is so incredible. What keeps you going and keeps your motivation so high?
You can laugh or you can cry. That's it. So I have to choose the laughter. I have to choose the high road. I just have to keep on going. I just don't feel like my final chapter has come yet. There has to be something out there. There has to be something bigger and better. I wanted a first student to work professionally, and I got that. Then I wanted to have a student on Broadway, and I got that. Then a television show, and I got that. There has to be something else. There has to be something that I control. Maybe it's the documentary. Maybe there's something after that. Maybe there's another series.
Well, I was going to say, it sounds like there's a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lot coming up.
There's a lot. So you got to just keep on going, and staying busy is good. You can sit around and wallow and be upset and be sad. And, I have the days that are bad like everyone else. And then, you got to get up and stand up in that walker and transfer to that wheelchair and say, okay, what am I going to conquer today?
And you've been walking a lot. You've got, it's slow, obviously, but like I said, you are now somebody that can show it's not the end for everybody.
No, even after you shatter your leg in 2 places.
Yeah.
Oh
and you still got right back up. But Abby, thank you again so much for taking the time to.
Thank you, Long Island, for
Thanks
having
for
me.
giving us Michael too. We love him, and it's great. We're looking forward to having you on Long Island. We're going to do a big giveaway, and we're going to send everyone to your show. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was lovely meeting you, and I will see you later. Thank you.
Later.